Welcome to a very special episode of Oxford History Today. Today we are at Immanuel Church here in Oxford, and we're going to talk to Ken Martin here. Ken is a longtime member of the church. How long have you been a member of the church?
62 years.
Wow, all your life.
Since I was 4.
Yeah, so that's all your life.
Yes.
Well, we're sitting in the sanctuary, which is undoubtedly the most beautiful part of the building. This is the original part of the building, right?
Correct. So when they formed the church in 1877, they bought the property here at the corner of Hovey and Denison. And originally it was pretty much a shack, just a building enough that they could worship in until they could raise the money to build a more permanent structure.
Mm-hmm.
And this building was built in 1878.
Oh, they raised the money pretty quickly then.
Yes.
Yeah, especially for a building like this. And at that time, you were not Immanuel United Congregational.
Yeah, at the time we were formed, we were Immanuel Congregational Church, and which was part of the larger congregational churches, which dates back to the Pilgrims.
Right.
Pilgrims became the Puritans, and the Puritans became the Congregationalists. And then in about 1955, the Congregational Church joined the Christian churches and the Evangelical and Reformed churches to become the United Church of Christ. So our official title is the Immanuel Congregational United Church of Christ.
Okay, there we go. Now we know.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, that's a lot. So structurally, things like the stained glass windows, did those come in right away, or was
They came with the building. I mean,
Really?
these are 143-year-old windows.
They're beautiful. And the bell tower was erected at that time
Correct,
too.
correct.
Okay, and was the bell installed right at that time of the whole thing?
I believe about the same time.
Well, I know a lot of churches, they build their structure, then they have to do a fundraiser for windows and a fundraiser for a bell.
No, they had that all purchased right at the beginning.
Wow.
So, unfortunately for our church, not all the funds came from the members. Members of the community saw the necessity for a building like this, and so thousands of dollars were given to the church in anticipation of being paid back, but as a loan.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a while and some pains, but we eventually got those loans paid off, and it became wholly owned by the congregation.
Yeah, but the community rallied.
Yes, yes.
Which is kind of what we're looking for now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We owe a lot to the community that has helped us over the years keep going, and we've tried to give back to the community in different ways of ministry.
Oh, you have, always. Your door is always open, basically.
Yes.
Which is wonderful.
To everybody.
This church has a really unique approach in that it's a very traditional worship. You have the choir, which you direct the choir.
Correct.
You have the grand piano, the organ, the scriptures and such, but it's also very casual and welcoming in that you don't necessarily have to be in that mindset to come here and enjoy.
Correct.
And find peace.
Correct. It's a responsive worship, but very relaxed atmosphere. This is my Sunday clothes right here,
and everyone is welcome.
Correct.
Regardless of previous religious affiliation, whatever community they identify with, whatever
Correct.
color they are, whatever special needs they might have.
Correct.
Once you're here, you're just here.
In fact, we've been expanding. We've gotten grants over the last years to expand our worship ability for those with special needs. We've got special hearing devices with a special hearing system that people can hear through the sound system. Because this is a very live built room.
Right.
And when you get lots of sounds from the organ, from singers, sometimes it's not easy to focus on what's being said at the pulpit.
Right.
And so with these hearing devices, and we're going to be expanding to visual for those with
Yeah, that's what I
visual
hear.
help.
That's wonderful. Well, you really make it all inclusive
Yes.
at that point. You don't have to stay away because it's too loud or you can't focus.
And we're those with autism spectrum. We're going to be creating like safe rooms, so that they can find a nice little quiet place and still be able to participate in worship.
Oh, that's wonderful. You just open your doors to everyone.
Yes.
And I think it's especially important at a time like this because so many people in the world are falling away from the more traditional churches, but they still want to worship. And they may be part of a a different group of people, and they don't necessarily feel welcome everywhere they go, but they still want to worship.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that Pastor Liz likes to push is that if it's about God, it's about love. And if it isn't about love, it isn't about God. And that's how we need to approach everybody who walks through our doors.
It's simple, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So right now we'll be talking to Art in a little while about the nuts and bolts, as it were, of the bell tower. But it's interesting that you say the community rallied to help build this building,
Correct.
which was not unusual in those days to have a church within a neighborhood. But it became something that in a sense belongs to all of us.
Correct.
First time I came into town to look for a house, I came in on Denison, and this is the first building I saw. And the house that I bought, I could see the church from my backyard. So it's always been kind of a touchstone for me, and I think for a lot of other people.
Yep.
And I want people to understand that even if they don't necessarily worship here, this is an important piece of our community. And if everybody did a little, we'd get it done. So I really want the community to respond and see that this is a place that's important to all of us, regardless of your religious affiliation or your leanings in those directions, because that's a very personal thing.
Yep.
But I do find myself a lot of days when things are hectic for me, I come down here and I just sit and enjoy the peace, and I feel very calm and very welcomed here, all by myself.
This is a very calm, peaceful, just, because our offices are open Monday through Thursday, 9 until 12. If you just need a place to just come in, sit down, and try to get yourself together, this is a good place, good calming place.
Well, the history is right here, because this room has not changed since it was built, really. I mean, some changes, but like the style of the pews and all of that.
Correct. This is a unique feature in that it's more of a auditorium style. Usually you go to a church, the floor is flat all the way across, but this allows you to, no matter where you stand in this church, even if you're on the farthest side, you can be heard and be understood. And I think that's the heart of Congregationalism too, is that it is about the members. It's not about some higher hierarchy above the church.
Except for the big guy.
Well, yes, right.
Well, that's wonderful. And I love that when buildings and such change, they tear them down or they put facades or they gut them and redo them. This church looks the way it did basically the day it opened, which again brings it back to being a really important part of our community and this neighborhood. And I hope that people will see it and feel the same way I do, and that you do, obviously.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Because you do everything around here. Your heart and soul is in this place.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's paperwork or computer or fixing a toilet, if Art isn't available to fix the toilet, then you do it. So, is there anything else you'd like to say to tell us?
Well, just the importance of the bell tower itself, how growing up in Oxford, I knew when that bell rang, that was my 5-minute warning to get to church in time. But not just for our church, but throughout the entire community.
You ring it for a lot of occasions.
Correct.
And it's been very quiet lately.
At the end of World War II, the bell was rung. At 9/11, we rang the bell. And after the tragedy at the high school a couple years ago, we rang the bell in honor of those who were killed.
And even for wreaths across America.
Yes.
And they can hear that bell from up at the cemetery. Every year somebody mentions it, they heard it. So be a part of our history. You can put your name into the history of our community by donating to the bell tower. And the information will follow at the end of the program. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Okay, thank you very much, Connie.
Wasn't too painful, was it?
Oh, no.
We're going to go find Art now and talk to him.
Your password isn't secure. There's nothing that a hacker loves more. But there's an easy thing you can do to prove the logger in is you. Authenticate, strong authenticate. Make your logins extra safe. Protect your identity from tragic fate. Authenticate, strong authenticate. Use your fingerprint, your face, or a code. At home or work or on the road. To 2 steps are safer than 1 or 3 or 4, and keeping data safe is so much fun. Authenticate, strong, authenticate. Make your logins extra safe. Protect your identity from tragic fate. Authenticate, strong, authenticate.
When a crisis hits, close to home and across the globe, nonprofits are on the front lines, ready to serve.
Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming.
The demand for charitable services has skyrocketed, and nonprofits are rising to meet the needs. Healing, nurturing, rescuing, honoring, protecting, caring, inspiring. The work of philanthropic organizations of all sizes, across all missions, has never been more important. And it's donors and volunteers like you who make all this possible. Thank you. Together, we change the world. The Nonprofit Alliance.
So I found Art. This is Art Nagasaki, and you
Hello,
are
Connie.
You are what here at the church?
I'm 2 roles. I'm the treasurer, and I'm also the building and grounds team leader.
That means you get to rebuild the bell tower and you fix toilets.
Yes.
Because every time a toilet goes
as well as pay the bills.
as well as pay the bills. Well, even though it's raining, we wanted to come out here and stand in front of the bell tower we've been talking about. This is a huge project, and it's all on you. So what exactly is going to happen here?
So a little bit of history. Early spring of 2022, we noticed that there was shingles and pieces of rotten wood at the base of the bell tower. So upon further investigation, we found that the structure underneath the bell was starting to rot and deteriorate. So it was bad enough that we determined that we needed to find a contractor that could do the repairs to the bell tower. So we've been able to find a contractor, and so we're going to have a number of things done when the restoration work takes place.
Okay.
To facilitate the construction and repairs, we're going to have the bell itself removed, and while that's down, it's going to be restored. And then while the bell is out of the way, we're going to do the repairs to the wood structure. There's a number of rotten wood areas that we need to restore. And then the condition of the wood is also going to be stripped of peeling paint, primed, and then repainted. And there's areas of the bell tower itself that also need some work as far as some brick repairs. The windows that you can see on the bell tower need to be resecured into the brick, so we're going to be working on that as well.
So that's a big job.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that's going to be going on that we anticipate starting towards the end of July.
Okay.
And we the schedule is not quite set yet, but the bell is going to come down either the 14th of July or the 21st of July.
Yeah, that'll be a big deal. That's a 1,700-pound bell, from what you've told me.
Yeah, approximately 1,700 pounds,
Yeah.
42 inches in diameter.
Yeah. Well, you can hear it all over town. You had to know, but when you stand here and look up, it's kind of hard to really gauge how big it is.
Yeah, you need to get up close to understand the size of the bell.
Yeah. So right now, you've got part of the needed money to do the project, but you don't have everything that you need.
Yeah, so we estimate that with the quotes that we've gotten from the 2 contractors, the steeplejack guy that's going to be doing the bell tower restoration, plus the company that's going to be doing the bell restoration, that we need $35,000. And currently we have a little over $20,000 that has been raised. So we're looking for another $15,000 approximately, so that we don't have to dip into our savings account
Right.
in order to fund
Well, you have
this project.
and you have more projects coming up behind it.
Yeah,
So
there are other projects. You know,
Oh,
with the age of this building, it
Yeah.
never really ends. So,
Yeah.
So we could always use additional money to keep this building.
Well, that's
in good
why
shape.
we're appealing to the public, whether you're a member of this church or not. Look, we're standing on the street corner in the neighborhood. That's where the church is. So the community needs to come together and own a part of this and be a part of it. I mean, I think it would be thrilling to say to your kids, I helped fix the bell tower, and have the kids say your grandparents helped fix the bell tower. I don't know what Kyle's saying to me right now. He's just waving at me. But, so that's what we're doing. At the end of this program, we'll have all the ways that you can contribute. So please think about it, please do it. It doesn't take much. You know, if enough people gave us $5, $10, $20, we'd have it.
Yes.
It's the way I run free meals. I ask for
Yes.
$1 at a time, and we're still going. So anything else you want to tell us here?
The building is almost 150 years old, and the way I look at my role in this project is I'm a caretaker. I want this building to be around 150 years from now, and I would like the people 150 years from now to say, those people in 2023, they really cared about the community, and they cared about this church and this building, and we want to keep it around.
Well, of course, and it's not just the church as a church. It is an anchor to this neighborhood.
Correct.
And it's, as you said, it's got to be around a lot longer, which is where the community comes in. So think about it, get in touch, do what you can, and be a part of saving this magnificent building and this magnificent bell tower. You won't find another one like it.
And the bell.
And the bell.
And the
yes.
bell.
And soon the bell will ring out again, because I've really missed it. I really miss it. Thank you. We're going to go see if we can find Justin now and talk to him about the actual numbers and how he's doing that. But Art, thanks for coming out in the rain to talk to me.
Thank you very much, Connie.
You're welcome.
Pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. See you soon.
500 African Americans in the U.S. suffers from sickle cell disease. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for patients with sickle cell. 1 appointment to donate blood with the American Red Cross can help save a life. Will you be that one? Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood today to schedule an appointment at a location near you.
Your password isn't secure. There's nothing that a hacker loves more. But there's an easy thing you can do to prove the logger in is you. Authenticate, strong authenticate. Make your logins extra safe. Protect your identity from tragic fate. Authenticate, strong authenticate. Use your fingerprint, your face, or a code. At home or work or on the road. 2 steps are safer than 1 or 3 or 4. And keeping data safe is so much fun. Authenticate, strong authenticate. Make your logins extra safe. Protect your identity from tragic fate. Authenticate, strong authenticate.
Military families often sacrifice precious time away from loved ones while serving our country. And for those with children, the separation can be especially difficult.
We were worried that with him leaving, that she would lose those connections with her dad.
Some of life's best moments happen between parents, children, and the pages of a good book. United Through Reading provides that connection.
You can watch your mom or dad read a book to you, and it almost feels like they're really there.
We ensure they remain a consistent, meaningful part of their children's lives, no matter the distance.
Just seeing Jacob recognize Daddy again after a long time just melted my heart.
And now, as we're facing greater isolation from our loved ones, United Through Reading is also available to veterans. Learn more about United Through Reading and download our free secure app at unitedthroughreading.org.
So, Justin, here we are now talking to you. I've already talked to Ken and Art about the church, the history of the church, the congregation, especially moving forward, your plans for the future. But you, as moderator, oversee everything that's going on. You know, it comes back to you eventually.
Yes.
I talked to Art about the actual construction and repairs for the bell tower, which is going to be pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing that bell down, that's a 1,700-pound bell.
Yep. After 145 years.
Yeah, but it's got to be done. Unfortunately, It got to this point. It occurs to me that although you, as church members, don't own this building, but you are responsible for it.
Yeah.
You are the current guardians.
Correct.
And you have to see to these things and make these repairs. On, I think, a very limited budget because the congregation has shrunk, as many have. So what exactly are your plans for fundraising?
So in the past, we've done like, the pancake dinners and the fall luncheon, the spring luncheons, and they've worked out great, but because this project is so large, we need to raise more money faster. So we are currently just reaching out to the public directly for donation through the QR code or the website and just asking them to help us preserve this history and help us continue our projects with helping the community.
Yeah, well, that's important because it's not just a church issue.
No.
When I first came to Oxford to look for houses, I looked at two. One was on Pontiac and then the one I bought on Park. I came in on Denison and this building was the first thing I saw. And when I got to the house on Park, I was standing in the driveway and I went, oh, and I could still see it from my back, from right here from my driveway. And I've done a lot of events and such here over the years. And now, of course, we're doing free meals here because you guys have been so incredibly welcoming and supportive. But it is a community. It should be a community effort. It's not just a church effort.
Yes.
And we need to preserve and protect this magnificent building.
Yeah, I mean, this church has 145 years in history in Oxford's past that, there's our family, members' history right here, so.
Well, and it sits right here in the neighborhood, which is so cool. Nowadays, they buy land and they build churches, but at that time, they put the church right in the neighborhood.
Yep.
And that's where
And
it is.
they walk to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember years ago when I first lived here, and on Sunday mornings, I'm like, where are all these people going? People were walking up the sidewalks. They were all coming here.
Yeah.
And so it was very much a community-oriented church. And I think it still is. It's just smaller number of people.
Yeah, we try to be. Like you said, we help you on your Wednesday night crew, and we have the Tuesday night, and we also have Alcohol Anonymous every night. So we try to provide space for the community in any way we can.
Well, you do more than just provide. You support and encourage.
Correct.
And that's important. And again, I mean, I'm not a member of this church, but I've always felt so welcome here. And you do welcome everyone.
Yes.
No matter, I think on your sign it says, no matter where you are on life's journey, you're welcome here.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but that sounds right.
Well, I'd like to see more people. I think there are a lot of people like me who grew up in a traditional church, and now they're kind of sick of that, and they're doing the more non-denominational. This church really kind of provides both, because you have the traditional ceremony, mass, I don't know if we call it a mass, with the music and the hymns and the scriptures.
Right.
But you also provide a very open and welcome and more casual side to worship, I think.
Oh, yeah, I can wear my jeans and t-shirts, we're
Yeah.
very casual here, so.
Yeah, you welcome people to just be as they are.
Yep.
And that's amazing. And that's why the community needs to know and to support what you're doing.
And I appreciate
so
the
you're
help.
what, about 15,000 short right now?
Last I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah. So do you know if everybody in Oxford Township, the population is 22,000 and something.
Yeah,
If everybody gave you $1 for each member of their family, you'd have what you need.
exactly.
So if you have 2 parents and 3 kids, $5 I mean, it can be a very simple thing. Nobody has to, we'd love it if you came in and wrote a check for the whole thing. But,
Oh, yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
But then again, too, and I've always felt this, the more people that donate and are involved, the more they take ownership. And it doesn't have to be huge. Like I said, there's no such thing as a small donation.
No,
No.
no.
So-
Every dollar counts. and
It does.
it's helpful.
Well, it all adds up. On its own, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But that's the way I've been with my program all this time. So if anybody wants to, we're going to have information at the end, how to contact the church, how to make donations and such. But a lot of people know me, and if you're one of those people that I run into in the grocery store and you want to slip me a 20 for free meals, slip me a 20 for the church and I'll make sure it goes right into the bell tower fund. If you need a receipt, then use the information that'll be on the screen. But, you know, we need to do this. We just, as a community, we need to do this. So it doesn't matter what faith you are. Really, as a community, we need to save this building, which, as Art explained, the bell tower is way beyond its sell-by date. The repairs should have been seen to a long time ago.
Yeah.
But they were unaware. I meant to ask Art, and I might have, but will there be glass up in the tower again to protect it?
There are discussions to maybe putting something up there, but we have to look into it more.
Yeah, okay.
Our main goal is to rebuild the structure,
Right.
make sure its integrity is good
Yeah.
before we move on.
Well, at this point, if it were to come down, which conceivably could happen, it would not only take out the narthex and part of the building, but it could go into the street because it's right there at the corner. And
Yeah.
that's a huge liability.
Yeah, as far as I understand, the brick part is okay, but it's all the wood part. But
Yeah.
you know, if that 1,500-pound bell drops, it's going to cause.
It's going to
some
take
issues.
everything with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you're going to be getting started on that pretty quick. The bell's going to come down in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and, as of right now, it's scheduled the next couple of weeks, and then the project will start after that.
Right.
And then, you know, anything that's donated above and beyond this will go towards the roof over the sanctuary, which is the next project.
Right. Yeah, it's always something. You have an
Oh,
old
yeah.
house or an old building, it's
Yeah.
always something.
Yeah, my goal is, when I became moderator, my goal was to focus on being proactive and thinking ahead and taking care of the things that need to be taken care of.
Yeah, and you've done that. I mean, it's just some of the events, the Grinch breakfast. First, you walked with us in the parade as the Grinch, and Danielle was there as Susie?
That wasn't me. What are you talking about?
All right, first you contracted to have the Grinch walk in the parade.
Right.
And then you contracted to have him come back here, and you had a whole Grinch world set up.
Yes.
And that was hugely popular.
It was a nice turnout.
Yeah, and that's something nobody else is doing.
No.
So you do, some of your ideas get a little crazy and out there.
Well, you got to get something going.
Then you do. Until you have the discussion, you just don't know. And
No.
you don't know what's practical.
Right.
But you really don't have time to do that type of a fundraiser right now.
No, I have to do something like every single week,
Yeah,
and nobody had the time for that.
right.
So,
Or the energy.
with the energy.
Believe
yeah.
me, we serve on Wednesdays, and I'm crashed out right after that. But so the immediacy, the urgency. I mean, the work is going to go forward, but that's a big bill to pay.
Yeah.
And we need to, as members of this neighborhood especially, we need to be part of that. So Chris and I will be making a donation.
Oh, thank
I just
you.
forgot it today. I was going to have it here and hand it to you on camera.
Want to pretend?
Yeah. Now he's going to job in So anyway, so that's the story of Immanuel. You've heard the history, and you've heard about the problems and the corrections being made to the bell tower. And Justin has told you about how many ways you can donate. So at the end, after this, you'll see up on the screen will be the QR code, the email address, all the various information that you need in order to donate to the church. And I hope that everyone takes this very seriously. $5 is not a big deal, but it's a big deal. So whatever you can do, please do it. Let's do this as a community and save this beautiful church. So anything else you have to say? You want to beg a little?
Just, thank you for supporting us over the years, and I hope you continue to support. And thank you, and God bless.
That's well said. I can't say any more to that. So share this video when you see it. Tell people about it, and I'll beg a little because I beg every week anyway. So please send us what you can, or drop off what you can. I'm easy to find. So if I'm not here or not at home, I'm easy to find. So please do that, and hopefully we'll be back with an update when everything is completed and the bills have been paid, and we can thank the community and have a grand ceremony to dedicate the new bell tower.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you.